Was Euromaidan a revolution? Have you ever wondered how a series of protests can reshape a nation? The Euromaidan protests in Ukraine, which began in November 2013, are a prime example of this phenomenon. But was it truly a revolution? Let's break it down. The protests started when the Ukrainian government decided to halt preparations for signing an association agreement with the European Union. Instead, they chose to strengthen ties with Russia. This decision sparked outrage among many Ukrainians who were eager for closer ties with Europe. From a post-communist perspective, Euromaidan represented a reaction against the political and economic systems that emerged after the fall of the Soviet Union. These systems were often marked by corruption and a departure from the socialist principles that many hoped would guide the new Ukraine. The movement was not just about aligning with the European Union. It was also a response to the injustices and corruption that had become widespread in Ukrainian society. Protesters demanded democratic reforms and an end to the corrupt practices that had taken root. This was a direct challenge to the post-Soviet political system, which many felt had failed to deliver on promises of equality and justice. Now, when we think of a revolution, we often imagine a complete overhaul of the political or social structures. In the case of Euromaidan, it did lead to significant changes, including the ousting of President Viktor Yanukovych. A new government emerged, but the changes did not necessarily align with traditional communist ideals. Instead of a return to socialism, Ukraine moved towards more capitalist and Western-oriented policies. The Euromaidan protests highlighted the ongoing struggle for political identity in post-Soviet states. Ukraine found itself caught between Western and Eastern influences, trying to navigate its path forward. While the movement achieved notable political change, it did not result in the adoption of socialist policies. Instead, it marked a shift towards European integration and democratic reforms. So, was Euromaidan a revolution? It certainly was a revolutionary moment in terms of its impact on Ukrainian politics. However, it did not align with the traditional goals of transforming economic and social structures towards socialism. Rather, it represented a broader quest for political freedom and a new economic direction.